Hi, guys, and welcome again to another episode. And we are going to continue because this is just going to get more and more interesting. Okay, so a unified theory of Yll, Al, and Yll as a primordial conceptual root. Your argument that all languages sharing in this sound once held a common idea, which then diverged through cultural evolution, aligns with a pan-human cognitive linguistic approach. Yes. Okay, so now I've asked it to test this sound cluster across languages if we see any, if we can make a semantic shell. Okay, yeah. Yes, it may not. It may not make sense to you right now, but the semantic shell will allude to us pretty much talking about the same thing. Because what we're doing here is we're actually looking at ideas and following ideas and the sounds that we have assigned to them, right? And then following this sound across the globe to see if it has meant the same thing, pretty much like within this semantic shell, this category. Okay, remember that specificity grew with time. So things were not specific back then. Okay. So yes, okay. So it is seeing that it's likely root likely encoded in primal triad of meaning: sky, light, divinity, totality, unity, fluidity, nourishment. Okay, and we see this: el, el, al, all, li, la. Here we have even water, la, and lingua. Well, this is the tongue, and giving birth, li, or to leave, le, la. But this is very funny how the Semitic le means no. So their no is our leave. We leave it, but they say no. La, but we say leave. Leave that there. Or let. But we have the Scandinavian law, leg, la. But also the Albanian la, le. But we say, right, so they changed, like they made that a no. So that's funny how these words that once were used the same way are now used differently. Okay, so Primordial Yll, shining sky force, right? So Semitic, Ilu, God, Albanian Yll, star, Uralic, Ilma, sky, and Greek Helios. Evidence for a universal. Now we know that this Yll sound is what is traveling now, right? But evidence for universal sound ideology. Yll, the Sumerian Yll, high, bright, which also gave us Ilu, God. And then we have the Ela, to live, or life energy, or Elu. They have another word as well, which is actually more closer to this one. The Egyptian one doesn't count because they developed the Ra sound. Yeah, it came with them, or yeah, it kind of did, possibly before them too, though, but they lasted quite a long time, so it seems likely that it came from them. But this is where it is interesting. Now, in all the way to, I mean, to the Americas. Now we're talking about the natives in Americas, right? Il hui cattle, il hui cattle, hui cattle. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Ah, goodness me. But we are finding the ill sound here. The ill sound is here. Oh my goodness, it is here. That is crazy. That means that these people, either we share the sound before they got crossed Alaska and Russia up there in the north to get to the Americas. Isn't that crazy? That you know, that how coincidental is this? We have to really look at it. How coincidental is it? Okay, and then we have the Korean Hanul, they have this. This is probably not even properly pronounced because I did try to. I asked Google Translate to to pronounce this word for me, but you could near almost well not hear this ul sound. Han ul. But this is very funny because in Albanian, han means a moon, and ul means a star. So the moon and the star is the sky. So that is crazy. That is a bit crazy, right? Like how coincidental is all of these things? How coincidental are them? I'm sorry. How coincidental are them? They're not. They're not coincidental. We shared a root, but we diverged in development. That is where these other add-ons that distinguishes us come in. Okay, I know this sounds very strange, but the world is very, very different than what we've understood it to be. Okay, so the phonosemantic universals. Tiny shine sky. L, flowing, linking, soft. Open, universal. Ala, alpha. It's all encompassing. Okay. How civilizations reshaped the root, the pre-Neolithic vocalizations. Hunter-gatherers used il for sky, light, al for group totality, and li for water, life. We see this. We see that they understood something or shared this common understanding. Okay. So the Semitic L became the Albanian Yll, which then became the Helios. It didn't get this one, but we saw it up earlier in the previous video that it did get it actually. But I'm not going to go back there. So this is very difficult. So I'll now have to like extract what makes sense and what is linked because it can't really see all the links. Yeah. And then we have the Li, suggests a related but distinct primordial root. Li, binding, flow, tongue. Well, Li, san, lum, no, not really. We're going to look at this too. But this is a more, well, yes, this again ties up with the li, illa, right? It is the same sound here that pertains to both light, God, sky, but then afterward it is also birth, li, and leave. And so it is something you both are getting and leaving. It is this life is something that you're receiving and letting leaving as we speak. Okay, that was their logic. Their logic is that this life is a flow, so you're not really holding on to anything. You can't hold on to anything. If you are, then you're not intelligent, or well, according to them, you're not intelligent because you're not with the flow of life, right? Which is now. Okay. So this il, God, il, li, all these tie now together because life is occurring, light, life, God is occurring, and letting go is birthing and leaving, birthing and leaving, birthing and leaving. Right? This is our life. This is our life. We wake up, we sleep. We wake up, we sleep, we die. Right? We're born, and we wake up, we sleep, we wake up, we sleep, we die. This is the cycle. This is crazy. I know it's crazy. I know it is crazy. Okay. Challenges to the model. Coincidental similarities. The shared global recurrence of Ilan roots in core concepts, sky, God, life suggest a non-random pattern. Yeah, no joke, mate. No joke, right? Obviously, like this is, yeah. So no pre-Neolithic writing. Counter Paleolithic cave symbols. Yes, because they did not encode. We did not encode sound. It was symbolic in the beginning. It was a drawing. It was a man, animal. It was light. It was an eagle, a snake, right? It was symbolic. And then we would assign sound to these symbols, these ideas, which would later grow. That is how we got where we are. Okay. Yes. Okay. So the primordial sound idea continuum. Sound idea continue. continuum. Continuum. Okay, sorry. Okay. Well, yes. E, light, ul, dark, and li, flow, and la, spread. Yes, yes. We see this. We see this. Language families are fluid. Okay, but now let me go on a bit further. I don't want to miss anything, so I'm leaving it a little bit so that you can pause if you find something that you're like, oh my goodness. But let's go on. Okay, so it helped me make a research proposal here. Fine. Okay, but now I've asked it to expand il, al, el, ul sound cluster and search for it in other languages to see if we can make a semantic shell that tie up to the root idea. Okay, so and now it has understood it. So light, height, divinity, il, el. This is up. All is everything, and ul is low or life, fluidity. It's like this is the light, and this is the earth, like the water, but the earth as well. So it's up, all, and low, and earthy is sensory. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but this is okay, I'm just trying to explain it. So and it is getting it. Like I don't even need to really explain it so much because it is getting it, right? Holos, all, whole. This is where we get the word whole. Holos, all. But we also have Allah and all, right? El, mid-front, life, Elohim. Well, this is El. We don't know how this was pronounced back in the old days. It might have also been Ul, right? We know the K then is Ilu. And the star, and then, yes, all these come in. But we also now see the underworld, Ul, which we know in Albanian means Ul means to be low, something that is low, Ul is low. Ul to sit down. Ula. Put it down, or it's a base. And now we see even the word hell coming in. Ul, hell. Ul. You're going to Ul. So we have to have fun with this. Honestly. Okay. A luminous, all-encompassing life, vital force that later split. Sky deity, cosmic totality, and chthonic energy. Yes! See? This makes so much sense. This is beautiful. But we see that this now goes crazy. We're going to see a massive spread, okay, of this sound everywhere. We see now that this il means death, apparently in the Basque. But it also means moon. Ilargi, moon, and then we have argi, meaning light of the dead. Okay, so we now see that this apparently ties up with living and dying as well, which we know because that is also what God and life is doing, right? We're leaving and birthing. We're birthing and leaving at the same time. Yeah. So global outliers, these are not even outliers. I mean, yes, these are outliers in the sense that it's crazy that we find the same thing here, right? Okay, but sure, now it has bound them. Now let's go further. Add data from Niger, Congo, Sino-Tibetan, and Amarin. Okay. And it is now we're seeing a loss. Mungu, Fezu, Orun. Now we're not seeing it now. No, we lost it. But what we are seeing is Swahili. Okay, so we're finding this il sound right here now. Il, Swahili, and Zulu. Okay, we're finding in them in their own name. They're calling themselves that. El, il, ul, all these things, because remember, we're also life. We're also God. So these sounds pertain to us as well, which is where we have the Illyrian, the Hellenistic. All these LL sounds pertain to these groups of people perceiving themselves as God-like life. Okay? But that they developed other words. We see the Mandinka having Ala, close to Allah, right? So this was probably very close there. But we also have it here in Fula, Ula, Ula, this Ula, La, La, La sound. Apparently they call their own language or themselves for that, right? And then we have the Sino-Tibetan, yi change, okay, tian, yu. It didn't get it. It's saying that Old Chinese had no le in codas, so il, ul may appear as yi, yu. But no, this is not real because we need to ask we need to bring in someone who speaks Mandarin and someone who speaks Chinese, like all the different forms, okay? Because what we see here is Tibetan has la for God, la, la. And Burmese, lake, lay, for star. Okay, that is very strange. Well, not strange. It is not strange. That is what we're seeing. We're seeing that this is not strange. But so this is not a coincidence anymore. Yes. But because it doesn't get it. It doesn't really get it because I've searched for the Li sound and I found very many different words, and we're going to look at it now. Yes. Okay. And then we have the Mayan, kin. I don't know if this is now even, this is not obviously here with us at all with the ill. This is not it. But we have the Chibalba, we have the Al there, underworld. We don't know. This we don't know anymore. Okay. And then we have the Checha, Inti for son, and Lapa, no. So we don't have, we have the L sound, Ilapa. I don't know if this is, yeah, Ilapa. Yeah, it might just be that this is in fact it. We just can't disregard them anymore. Even this Al up here, we can't really disregard them because this Al, Il, El, Ul sound has traveled. Okay, not in the Algonquyan, Algonquyan. I don't know how to pronounce this. And we go on, and then the yes, okay. We have some, but not many. But we see that they call themselves a lot of these things. We have the Algon. I mean, even here. Sorry, I forgot to check the actual name of these people now. Well, not people, but language. But yes, you understand. And we see that this sound has traveled. Okay, that was it. Yes, but yes, because they didn't always get it right. Because I'm asking to look only for the phonetic form il, al, ul. Only look for that in words. Don't look for the other ones like man, na. Don't look for them. Look for other ones. Look for. I mean, only this one. Yes. So I asked it, yes, I told it, no, you should rather examine if those languages have those phonetic sound in their vocabulary to see how semantics have evolved differently. Yeah. So identify if the phonetic sequence il, al, el, ul, all exists in these languages, then track how their semantics diverge. Okay, yes, that is what we're doing. Okay. Medieval Zulu above Zulu, we're finding it here again, but now yes, I did it is finding some and some it doesn't. It Dulon, now it's finding another one, Dulon for star, right? So it is finding more the Zulu. It didn't say that this one had a Ulu in the end there, up there. So it only said Fezu, but now it says Fezulu. So we have now the Lu, Ul sound up there, up above. So we know that I did say that the ul was perceived as lower, but that was not necessarily how logic, because logic evolved. We see that ul began meaning that in the European group, but not necessarily that was not necessarily how it was, and how this further developed for the other groups. Yeah. So identify if the phonetic structure exists in other languages, as we will be following these sounds instead of the semantics. Okay. because I need to make it more clear to it, because it is, I need to confine it a little bit. So strict phonetic survey of il, al, el, ul, ol, ul across global languages. Ignore semantics. Only track if the exact phonetic sequence appear in words. Okay. Focus on roots, not affixes. Yes. Okay. Now we have Niger Congo Allah God. Okay, exact match. Sure, but this is also Allah, right? And then we have Ile house. No celestial link, but something close, something, yeah. Gurdul, ul. We have the ul now. And uluf eli for water. Okay, but what we, yes, water, uluf. This might be a new word though. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Because this word El, we know that El means God everywhere pretty much. So that we see this now being water might just be a new thing. Yeah. And then we have the Yi change, Allah in Tibetan non, Hlyin, Hlyin. Now we find the Burmese Hlyin to shine, and Jingfo Ulai sky. Okay, so now we're finding links. So we're finding links somewhere, but not everywhere. Yes, all is borrowed Islam influence. Yes, but not necessarily. Remember that it didn't share the same semantics. That its sound could have traveled before Allah came into Earth, so to say. Yes, we see that in this Amerindian languages. We see the Ilapa lightning, Alli water, El sun, Ulu, earth, or Uleu in the Mayan. Okay, so we're seeing that this sound is being used now differently according to how these people developed. A pair with cosmic meanings. Al is neutral. Yes. So yes, indeed. Ilma. Now we're checking the ruralic languages. Finnish. Ilma, air, or sky. Ula, this is crazy. Ula, now they have Ula just like the Albanians. Now that's crazy. Even I didn't know that. Above, we have the Albanians have the same word. Okay, Hungarian elet, life, and then Sami Ulu for God. Okay, now this is crazy, right? This is crazy, and we're connecting all these languages. We're seeing that we're not really that different. Basque, even a Basque have something here. The Ilargi, moon, Il, light, or light of the dead. But it is light. Il is something that apparently pertains to both light and death. And then we have Elegi, which is choice, no cosmic link, but it kind of, this is a development. And then we have Uli, death, dying. Now we have the Ul, this low thing happening. Okay. Phonetic distribution. Yes, so we have it, okay? It is spread everywhere. And now we're going to tie it. Yes, this was me making a YouTube thing about. So I asked it to make a word of, because it didn't get the Chinese language. I'm asking it to find the Mandarin languages. Make a list of the Mandarin words that use the L sound to see if we find any corresponding semantics. And then it brought forth here liang, bright light, li, power, strength, ling, spring, spirit, soul, long, dragon, liu, water. Okay, now we're really connected. Okay, now we're ridiculously connected. Medial, final L words. No, this is where we see a divergence. Dian, Yu, Wang, Jing. Okay, so this is not where it now. But we do find Lilian, so Li, power, Ling, spirit, and Lian, attachment, and I, love. I. I. Aishiteru, which means I love you, right? In Japanese. Okay. So the absence of exact il, al, all matches. Mandarin lacks direct phonetic matches. No word like il, al, but near misses. But it does. It does have them. It even have lun for wheel. Okay. It does. It does. It didn't get it, but it did kind of get it first. And here in the beginning, up here, we see that this, in fact, is tying up to the same semantic shell. Conclusions for Mandarin. L initial words show light power space semantics loosely aligning with il al l roots. Medial final, archaic nasalized, may hide older il ul forms in tian sky. Tian, tian, tian. Compound preserve cosmic vital meanings, liliang and lingming. Okay. Yes. And that was it. That was it, guys. So apparently we've gone through a massive linguistic and cognitive journey here. Well, through mankind. So, but I need the help of more people. I really do. I need people to explain to me how I can find more words. Yes. Well, I don't. Well, I need some natives. I need some natives here to help me distinguish some things. Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening so far. I wish you a good day or evening wherever you are. Cheers.